Hey guys, it's Saturday morning. I'm yard sailing, but I forgot to bring my HD camcorder, so I'm just using my iPhone right now. Um, and I'm regretting not bringing my camcorder and filming the process. But look what I just bought. Well, here's the little stuff, calculator, textbook, blah blah blah. But see that? Let me pull it out. 1863 Springfield. Guy says this is a Type 2. Look at that. It's a trapdoor model. He showed me this a little bit earlier. Somehow this thing pops up. There we go. And then you load a cartridge in there and then just kind of... It was faster than loading a black powder bullet, I think, is what he said. Trigger works. It's in decent condition. I did some quick reading and found out that, if it's obviously been cleaned up and stuff, that detracts from the value. So hopefully this one's pretty good condition wise. Paid $550 for it, and that is a steep investment. I'm hoping I can make some money on it. Alright guys, well, I'll talk to you later. Alright guys, so this is the gun I bought. Did some research on it, found out what it was. 1866 Springfield. It's called the model 1866. It's the second Allin conversion trapdoor rifle. So what this was is an 1863 Springfield musket that was converted in 1866. So this was a Civil War rifle. It was used as a, I guess a muzzle loader. You pack down the gunpowder and then the bullet. And it was used in the Civil War by the Union. Very cool gun. And then they went and modified it because it took so long to reload. In 1866, they had this trapdoor. And you just pop the cartridge in there. They started using cartridges. Pretty cool rifle. Was not expecting to find this in a yard sale. And the more research I do about it, the more I love it. Might just keep it. I don't know. If I can make money on it, I'll sell it. But if I can, I'll probably just keep it. It's I showed it to a specialist. There was a gun show going on the same weekend I bought it, and the guy said it'd probably be a good. You clean it up and make sure it's working right, but should be a good shooter rifle. It's not in collector condition, but I think it's a beautiful gun. This is called the second Allin conversion because a guy named Allin, who was a machinist at Springfield, was contracted by the military or the U.S. government to find out how to convert these old muskets because they had so many of them laying around after the Civil War. And so the first one was a little bit different. This is a second version of the Allin conversion, and then later on they started just making the guns with the trapdoor in them. I just love the history of this thing. It was used in the Civil War by the Union, and who knows? I mean, I hear it's kind of rare to find these correct and not replaced parts on them and stuff, and as far as I can tell, it's not been replaced anything on it. This weekend I'm probably going to take it apart, clean it up. The guy, the gunsmith, said it wouldn't hurt the value or anything to clean it up. He said get some, get like steel wool and scrub it with some gun oil. Another guy told me to get copper wool, which is like the same thing, just with 100% copper, and it shouldn't scratch any of the markings up or anything like that. It should just clean it, and it's a little safer. Let me see if I can show you some of the markings on this thing. So I don't know if you can see it or not. Let's see. I'll get my camera set up. So right here it says U.S. Springfield. over here it says 1863 right there. And then over here it says 1866 on the actual conversion piece. Which is, close it, which is right there if you can read it. And then it's got a little insignia there, little eagle head. I was at the gun show, and after the guy was explaining all this to me, told me it was a shooter. I asked him, I said, well, where do you get ammo for it? And he was like, right there at the next booth. I was like, well, dang. So I went over there and talked to the guy. They were like $8.50 per round, so I didn't buy any right then. I found some online much cheaper, because I think they're made out of black powder. The ones online, the ones at the gun show, I think were smokeless powder, common or a more modern type round. But yeah, this weekend I'm gonna clean it up, hopefully. Because it's definitely dirty. There's some rust on the stock. Let me show you that. Or not the stock, the butt plate. Guy said it looks like it may have been sitting in a barn for a long time or something. Missing the original cleaning rod, but you can get those reproduction pretty easy. Shoots a 50-70 round cartridge, which is large. I saw them at the gun show. There's some videos about these online, and I've watched just about all of them. And I think I may keep it. I've got it listed on Gunbroker right now. People ask a little over $1,000 for them. I see them go from anywhere from, I think the cheapest listing I've seen is about $800, and then the most expensive listing I've seen is like $3,000. So there's a big spread there. But I'm asking, I got mine on Gunbroker right now for $1,025, just because of the condition it's in. Currently it's the cheapest complete gun, model 1866 Springfield, on Gunbroker. So I'm hoping that will help it sell, but if it's not, if it doesn't sell, I'm not gonna be heartbroken. The guy at the gun show offered me like $300 for it, so I didn't take it. But I was only at the gun show probably 30 minutes, and I got stopped 3 times by customers, people just going to the gun show. One guy collects trapdoors, and he was telling me, he says, pretty cool piece. I told him it was for sale. We didn't talk money on it, but he says he mostly deals with the later model trapdoors. They're probably a little bit easier to work on, a little bit easier to disassemble, and plus I think it was a smaller round after they started making them, for this purpose. I think it was like 45 caliber instead of 50 caliber, which I believe from my research that that's what the 50 and the 50-70 stands for, is 50 caliber. If I remember my numbers right, they were 58 caliber when they were muskets, the little mini ball they used to put in them during the Civil War. I just enjoy looking at this gun. I'm looking forward to getting it cleaned up, and maybe if I get to take it to an outdoor range sometime soon, I'll film me shooting it if I still have it at that point. But I just really like the history of it. It was used in the Civil War, and it was built in 1863 and then converted. I read on Wikipedia, which I'm guessing is fairly accurate, that they converted 25,000 1863 muskets in the second Allin conversion to the model 1866. Now they made more in the second Allin conversion, but it was like 1861, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5. But this exact rifle, I think there's about 25,000 that were made. So definitely unique. But yeah, as far as the value, I had another guy who collects these. He makes YouTube videos, and I sent him a comment, and he said, and I told him what I paid, and I said, what do these actually go for? Because I don't really see sold listings online. It's It's not like eBay on Gunbroker where you can see what stuff actually sold for. You can just see what people are asking for their guns, which can be on the high side. And he said 550 is about what they go like that. Something like this would go for a good shooter rifle, but not necessarily like a collector's or museum type piece. But that's the same guy that said they're also not commonly complete. Like oftentimes gun dealers and after these were sold off by the government and they were obsolete, gun shop owners and stuff would do stuff to them to make them easier to sell, like maybe cutting the stock, making it shorter, because this is a very long rifle, about as tall as I am, and and some other things just to make them more fun to shoot or make them more relevant back then. But I just I love the history of this piece, and I paid a good chunk of change for it, but I'm not, I still enjoy it. I'm thinking, if people are pretty consistently asking around $1,200 to $1,000 for these things, I'm thinking that's the real world price, but I can't be, I'm hoping that's the case anyway, and I didn't spend too much. But if you know anything about these things, as far as price, feel free to let me know if you've bought one of these before, maybe what you paid or something like that. But the gun shop owner told me it should be safe to fire once you give it a good cleaning, and hopefully I'll do that. But let me show you the other stuff I bought, because this isn't the only thing I bought when I went yard sailing. Let me show you the other stuff. So this is my college apartment, by the way, so I probably should get this gun out of here. But anyway, bought this textbook, $10. It goes on Amazon for about $50. Got this old vintage fan. Let me see if I can get some more light over here. Maybe that helped. This old vintage fan. It's a Hunter Century brand. It works. The oscillator works, and the fan itself works. But it originally had high and low speeds, and right now only low works. So, but it still blows pretty strong on low. So I've actually been using it while I'm like sitting over here doing homework or something. And it turns right on, and it blows real good. So bought this. It's part to an electric fence for a dog. It's not an antique or anything. Paid $10 for that. They go for about $50 used. And this thing over here, this thing propped up against the wall. It's just an old desk lamp. Probably 50, 60, 70, something like that. It works. Paid $1 for it. I was planning on, because this is where I take some of my eBay pictures, on this table I have right here on the end. Obviously I get some better lighting for that. So I bought that lamp right there, and I was thinking about mounting it like on the wall here. Just kind of, and it swivels everywhere, so I could get some, so I could maneuver the light how I needed it for the picture. But it doesn't hold itself under its own weight. The joints aren't tightened enough, and I don't know how to tighten them, so I'm just going to sell it and find something else for what I need it for. I also bought a TI-83. The woman said it worked, but it did not. So I sold that as a non-working unit. Yeah, I already sold it. Like $10 what I paid for it. So I broke even on that one. Let's see, anything else exciting? I think that's about it. But yeah, this weekend I'm gonna clean up that rifle, and hopefully it looks better. Hopefully I don't do anything dumb to it. And anyway, thanks for watching. You never know what you're gonna find at a yard sale. And have a good day.